Hi, hello everyone. This is Shri from ShriLearning, and we're going to talk something interesting called PMI-ACP certification. Of course, many viewers are watching PMP certification success stories for a long time, and now we're going to have a good break. The break is about PMI-ACP. What is ACP? Agile Certified Practitioner Certification. One of the toughest Agile certification in the market. The two last year, PMI came with a new exam content outline that made this exam a little more crazy. So we have Sunanda in front of us, and she cleared the exam recently. In fact, she's the one who did recently with hard and smart work. So first, congratulations, Sunanda, for this great achievement.
Thank you so much, Shri. Thank you.
Great, great. So it was a good journey in the sense I remember the days you came for the class. We were even talking about it, where you sit late night in US time, and I take classes from Netherlands time. Pretty impressed the way you show involvement. It also shows that how much you are involved in the subject and clearing the examination. Yeah, the great efforts, great efforts. Quick check on you. What made you to think of PMI-ACP?
So, like I want to get into project management first of all,
Hmm.
and then I know that many organizations or companies are transitioning into agile.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, do this because I don't want to miss out on any chance I get anywhere here in US. So
US.
that's why that was my main motivation to do PMI ACP.
Makes sense, makes sense. I know the US market is more of PMI institution oriented if it is management because PMI comes from there. Even though PMP has the 50% of agility, PMI ACP
Yeah.
goes more detailed, right? That's what it is.
Yes, and also my inclination is more towards IT sector.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's the
Okay.
main reason behind it.
Okay, makes sense, makes sense. I will bring your certificate, right? People also can see your certificate. So here is a certificate for PMI ACP. I think they're given the golden or what do you call it as chocolate border. Is it-
Chocolate brown border.
did you ask for the color? You want this
Oh
border?
no, no. I just prayed for like to pass this exam. That's it.
All right. I think PMI has made a change in ACP examination, including the certificate color and its logo. Some changes have happened. Really, really good. Nice. So, once again, congratulations for this great achievement.
Thank you, Shri.
Now, yeah, I have two questions with you. Definitely, the audience who's watching this video will have this question on your preparation and on your main exam. So, if you can give some highlight on how you prepared, what kind of books you read, what kind of practice exams, and then we'll go for your actual exam.
Right. So my main book that I read through thrice was Mike Griffith,
Hmm.
recommended by you, definitely. And then I also read twice through the workbooks, four workbooks
Hmm.
by PMI, which was on the four domains: mindset, delivery, leadership, product. So so basically my total preparation, like full involvement, if I say, was for 2 months. So for 2 months, I was completely involved in studying. And a very important point that people like, I really want people to know is currently I'm not working. So I had all the time to prepare for this exam. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes. So I devoted around six, if not more, 6 to 7 hours per day towards
Wow.
this exam.
For two
Yes. And
months per day, 6 to 4 hours or 6 hours.
yes.
Wow.
Yes, or maybe like there were few days or the weekends where I
Hmm.
devoted like maybe
Hmm.
4 hours, not six. But yeah, I tried to devote at least 6 hours per day to
Okay.
towards this exam, towards the preparation. And then, like I said, I read through Mike Griffith thrice or four times. Yeah, I revised also, so including that four times. Then workbooks twice or thrice. If I include the revision thrice, all the four workbooks. Then I exhausted all the 40 marks questions which are there on the portal. All
Hmm.
the 30, there is a limit of 30 to 40 marks questions. I
Hmm.
did all of them.
Hmm.
Then besides that, from 28th March up till the 9th of June, I did all the daily question files
Hmm.
which come on the group.
Hmm.
Then all the one questions that are there on the group daily. Then besides this, I did mixed agile questions, chapter wise questions. So I did all those questions also. And I
Wow.
think this was it. Yeah. So around, if not more than, I feel I did around 4,000 questions in all.
God, God, you did the max you can. For audience purpose, I'll tell you, she will listen to the class at for you the class starts at 1:30 or 1 a.m.
2:30 a.m.
2:30 a.m. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, in Netherlands, a CET time. For her, it is US time, and it starts by 2:30 a.m. and the class goes 2 hours from there.
Yeah.
So 3:30, 4:30. By the time the city wakes up, you sleep.
Yeah. It used to be five for me.
God. Yeah, we do some Q&A also after that. So
Yeah.
every weekend she sits in the class 9 to 2:30 and reads up to 5. And again, every day she reads for 6 hours. Really, really good effort. But one question to you, Sunanda. You said Mike book you read because the old syllabus there is a recommendation reading Mike Griffith is sufficient because that book was published in 2012 or 14 revision. That's what happened. But when you
Hmm.
go to workbook of PMI, which is new, the content is pretty vast. In a sense, four books are there, and
Yeah.
you said you were able to revise twice on that. Is this true?
I was able to read twice and revise for the third time.
Wow, wow, what a patience you have. By the way, I think you have a good reading speed. That's what I'm getting a belief.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
okay, okay. So when you before you go to the main exam, when you read these books, you read Mike Griffith book, which was published 10 years back. Then you
Hmm.
read PMI recent books or
Yeah.
domains. How do you see these two items? Was it
So
connected?
there were a few things which were repetitive, I'll
Ah,
say.
hmm.
And besides that, there were case studies which were quite helpful to understand a few concepts like how disciplined agile can be implemented.
Ah.
Like this is just an example. So there were a few case studies I felt were very important, and there were some new things, new topics also that were covered in PMI workbooks, which were not there in my Griffith.
Okay. Nice. That's good, right? That's good because that book was written some years back with the mindset of agility by the time. In this 10, 12 years, things could have changed in the world. But the base of Agile is same, right? The 12 principles
Yes.
and the thinking process is the same, but the application is a bit more changed in the sense of scaled Agile you will not read in Mike Griffith book or discipline Agile you will not read in Mike Griffith book
Yes.
or
Yes.
some of the agile uh, team thought process. How can I have a high performing team? These kind of
Yes.
conversations. Okay, nice to know, nice to know.
Yes.
But I like the way you said there are some examples, there are some scenarios given in the PMI recent book which has
Yes.
more meaningful information. Nice to know, good to know. Really like the way effort you did. But when you practice these questions, some of them are scenario questions, some of them are straight questions, right?
Yeah.
How was your scores or how was your confidence level by the time?
So while attempting the mock questions
Hmm.
uh, on the port, which are there on the portal, my confidence level was good, I'll say, because mostly they were straightforward questions, and I used to know the answers. And
Hmm.
also, I used to write all my scores, whatever I got. Like I attempted five full mocks also, so I saw the marks increasing
Hmm.
with as I moved ahead or as I read more
Okay.
uh, through the books. So yeah, but I knew like I kept because I had attempted PMI PMP last year, so I knew that it's going to be the questions are going to be very different in the real exam. So I have to be ready, and that is actually what happened.
Right, right. I think this is an advantage since you did PMP already. You know PMI flavor, right?
Yeah.
You expect something and go to the exam hall, they will have something different.
Yes, and this time I felt for ACP, the questions were harder.
Ah, okay.
Yes, and in the middle of the exam, there was a point when I felt I am not going to clear this exam. So I was like, I just felt like giving up, but
Oh,
then still I went on because I felt like that because there are people who are currently working who are doing a few things which I am not doing, because I was so
Ah,
confident that I don't need to prepare these graphs and all burn down charts. I'll be able to do it. So I was
hmm.
very confident. And there were lengthy questions in which burn down graphs were there, as well as some data was there. So on the left hand side of the screen, there was so much of data. On the right hand side, there were questions. So it takes some time to analyze the data, then the
Yeah.
burn down charts, so all of that.
Wow, okay, wow, wow.
Yeah.
That's more of a practical or application knowledge PMI is looking, right? The way they ask
Yes.
questions.
Yes.
Okay, okay, interesting. Okay, that
There
makes
wasn't even one question that I would say was straightforward. Not even a single question.
that's PMI style.
Every.
That's PMI
Yes.
style. Okay, let's move a little more on the exam side now. So you went for center-based exam?
Yes, center-based exam.
Center-based exam. This is in which city you did?
Washington,
In
D.C.
Washington, you did it. Okay, very good, nice.
Yes.
So this is how many hours exam? What is a break? How it works?
So total duration that was mentioned was 210 minutes.
Hmm.
And break was like scheduled break was after 60 minutes. So 60 questions, I
Question.
could take 10 minutes break.
Okay.
So I took that. I did not take full 10 minutes. I took around 7 minutes break and
Okay.
then got back to my seat.
Okay.
And then, but I was able to, I had 3 full hours for me, to
Hmm.
attempt my exam. But I think I finished in 2.5 hours.
30 minutes you had. Okay, nice. That's a good
Yeah.
speed you maintain. Okay, so Washington, you did it, and it's a center-based exam, and the usual PMI format, one question at a time. So when you start the question, you practice around hundreds and thousands of questions. Sure, this question is not going to come there. It's only a
Yes.
simulation. But did you found some language aligning with the new PMI books? Or something beyond that? What kind of
Uh,
language are you using there?
So language was completely different. The
Ah,
framing of the questions was completely different, or I can say it was somewhat similar to what I uh, saw in my PMP exam.
okay.
Yeah, somewhat similar, I'll say. And so what really helped me was there, I know there weren't any direct questions, and I wasn't expecting that even.
Hmm.
Only thing was because I had read through the content so many times as well as practiced so many questions. So basically, I had the knowledge which helped me in attempting those questions. When you have the facts clear in your head and the understanding of the facts, so
Yeah.
then it really helps.
Yeah,
That's
I
what helped
understand.
me. And that's what I was aiming for, because I
Yeah.
knew questions are going to be very different.
I think that is what PMI want from you. They want your thinking process, right? Not memorizing or mugging up the information. Rather, can your brain think on the spot? Good. I think you,
Yeah.
you did what PMI want from you. Okay, fantastic. I like the way you said you revise books multiple times. I believe that gave you the confidence. Now, question for
Yes.
you, maybe a question like this, Sunanda. If someone is working in Agile today, when I say Agile, it could be on Scrum, it could be
Hmm.
a Kanban, something like this, they're working today. Do you think for them, these scenarios would be straight in the sense of it should be from their job?
Possible, possible, because I
Okay.
am not into that domain, so I am not very much aware of. For me, the knowledge from the books helped, but I feel the people who are working, they might find a few things to be easy for them, like the analysis of the data.
Okay.
So the way they analyze the data, as well as the burn down charts, they may
Yeah,
be doing it
those
on a daily
factors.
basis. Yeah.
All right, all
So
right.
yeah.
Okay, okay. Good. One more question. This exam has 120 questions, and after 60 questions, you get a break. In this
Yeah.
120 questions, do they use any mathematical questions which you have to use formula calculation?
For 2, 3 questions, yes. So the same questions that I'm talking about, where burn down charts and the
Yes.
data was there,
Okay.
because like there was a question in which, uh, like on the left hand side, the categories were given. On the right hand
Mhm.
side, there
Hmm.
were different like headings like MVP. So there were categories in which it was
You have
mentioned
to choose
yes,
from all
no.
that. Okay, okay. I
So
understand.
yeah, so these things make up MVP, and then
Okay.
it was shown on
Okay.
the burn down chart. So a few calculations were
Yeah.
required,
Okay.
but not much.
No.
And also there were no questions based on IRR, NVP,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, NPV and ROI. There were no
Okay.
questions based on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that subject is there from PMP, PMI-ACP, but PMI don't want to ask that question. They only want to gain the knowledge. There they leave it.
Yeah.
All right, good. So 120 questions you did it, and you said you did it in 2.5 hours, which means, can I assume that you had some review questions? You were able to come back and check that. Did you do that as well?
So I am a very impatient kind of a person, Shri. So I generally don't do that. There were two questions I had flagged in the first 60 questions for
Yeah.
me to come back. But then I felt drained and I was like, okay, just I'll go with it. Just unmark that question and go ahead. So I generally don't revise.
So first instinct is the correct answer for you. That's the way your brain works.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
like, I mean, I can't go back and check. For me, like when practicing also, like you always say, read through the correct answers. If you get a wrong answer, read through it. So I used to read it, but just one line, okay, this is
Enough,
enough.
enough.
Yeah.
I see the point. Okay, good. So your family is happy now?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you're done with your books and you're spending time for your family now, right? You're back to your routines.
Yes. Yeah. I have
Good.
something else on my mind, so I'll be,
Busy
uh,
with that. Busy
I
with
mean,
that. Okay.
I'll be busy,
Good
sort
enough.
of.
Good enough. Good enough. I mean, last wrapping up on some of the points. If you want to give some thoughts, because you know your batchmates are preparing, who are preparing. You are the first person to clear the exam in the batch, and a few more batchmates are coming up. The next batch is coming in a couple of months. So, if you want to give some thoughts to them, for the people who are aiming for SCP Agile certification, two things. One is it worth along with the PMP? Because PMP has some Agile, then why I should do PMI-ACP? That's a one thought some people have it. So what was your feel there?
So I feel yes, it is definitely worth it. So first of all, it is by PMI.
Hmm,
So that has a lot of value in the market, and also the syllabus is new. The
hmm,
content is new.
hmm.
So, and it's completely focused on agile. Although we say in PMP, I studied this, but I felt there was a lot of new content, complete new content, which I did not have in PMP. So for me, or my thought on this is that yes, it is worth it.
Well
One
said,
should go
well
for
said,
it.
well said, well said. Because when I see the content, it's more broader than PMP, where it starts getting into Scrum, Kanban, Discipline Agile,
Yes.
Scaled Agile, goes on broad. Very good. One last question to you is, do you have some bullet points to share with the people who are getting for exam? I know you gave a lot of points already. If you want to give a couple of points, what will be your advice?
So Shri, I feel some of the people might not be able to relate to me because they'll be thinking like I'm not working, so they don't have this much of time to spare. But my recommendation would be if I were in their place and I would have been working, I told you, I spoke to one of my batchmates. She asked me how you prepare, and she told me she's working, she doesn't have time. So I asked her, how do you go to your workplace? She
Hmm,
said by cab. Sometimes I drive, sometimes by cab. So I said when you are in the cab, just read,
hmm,
like do something
hmm,
so that you like this is my thought. This is how I would make time because I do it here also
hmm,
when I'm traveling from my home to somebody's place. So I read through that. I mean, read
hmm,
during that time so that I
hmm.
don't waste my time. So, like, this is
Nice.
my recommendation. Like, whatever time and whenever one can,
Yeah.
take out, one should go for it. Maybe waking up a little early in the morning
Hmm,
and during traveling, because in India, lot of time is consumed in traveling.
hmm, hmm.
So, I mean, and weekends, especially, like more time can be devoted during the weekends, and one should have some plan in mind, you
Okay.
know, how to like take out time from their busy schedule.
Makes sense. Okay, good. So timing is the first thing advice from you.
Consistency, like this is what I've learned from you. So
Good to know.
consistency is very important.
Good to know. Good to know. Other point on reading. You read workbooks. You read Mike Griffith. Do you give the
Yes.
same thought for them? They should read all the books.
Yes, read all the books, and
Hmm.
one shouldn't assume that they'll remember anything after reading once. No,
Hmm.
nobody will remember anything. So that's why they have to read it again. And
Okay.
even if they go at a fast pace, I'll say, so it's okay. because once they go through it again, they'll start remembering a few things. So, you know, as much as they read, they'll remember more.
Nice, nice. Good to know. Good to know. Two key points. One is find time wherever you have and stay consistent. I like that. And third one is read the book not once, a couple of times, because the main exam has a challenge, right? So they are going more scenario based questions, and you
Yeah.
have to think and answer. It is not something like the from book directly you can answer, right? You have to think and answer, right? Fantastic, fantastic. Good, Sananda. Now you have PMP, PMI, ACP, two top certificates in the market of management. Now it's time to explore your career opportunity.
Yes.
That's what's going to.
That's what I aim to do now.
Fantastic. I really like your dedication, commitment. I think this is going to take you to next level in your career. I always say this in the with the team members that learning is one portion, application is more important, which means that much of your study starts happening after getting certified. Now
Yes.
you open the book, now you're on a couch, you start looking at the paper, now your brain starts observing more. For exam, we may be in a rush to read more. Now you slowly, if you go to the content, you'll feel more strong. Very few amount of people in the world after certification read. So if time permits, I would say have the habit of going to the content again. You will be the master in your industry. Yeah, good. Great. So once again, thanks a lot, Sanada, for coming up here, and it really helps a lot with your tips and your dedication. We will spread this message to other team members who are preparing for the exam, and that can benefit many people. Yep.
Shri, I want to thank you like for your guidance and support throughout, because your motivation really helped and encouraged me. Because so like I said, I'm a big fan of your classes, and after doing PMP, I was adamant that I want to take your classes only,
Okay.
because your teaching methodology, the examples that you use, that makes the understanding of the difficult concepts very easy. So yeah, so a big thank you to you.
Thanks a
You
lot. Thanks a lot.
are the main.
Great, Sanada. Thanks for your patience to wait. I know this batch is supposed to happen January, then it got postponed. And Rahul was saying that she wanted to wait for the next batch. I said, okay, nice. So it shows the commitment and trust you have on us. Great.
Yes,
Good, super good. And keep rocking and keep winning and stay connected with us. I'm sure you're part of a light group already. And
yes, I am.
be part of the group. Keep contributing there, something which you learn, or you can ask questions of your career growth. People can help each other. Yeah?
Sure.
Good.
Yes.
Then have a good time. Thanks for your great interview today.
Thank you, Shri. Thank you so much.